What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Southern Fried Gaming. I'm your host, Caleb, and today I'm joined by JB,
Meow.
Mike,
Yep.
and Zach.
What's up?
Fellas, it's been a long time since we've gotten together to do this. Our last episode dropping on Christmas Eve of last year. We've had holidays, snowstorms, work, everything getting in the way. How have you guys been?
Been pretty
Well,
good.
I'm alive, but I'm barely breathing.
I was cold.
Very cold.
It was very cold.
Mike, you were
There
out
was
in it a
so
lot.
much ice. So much ice.
But anyways,
Yeah.
we are a gaming podcast. So, have you guys been playing anything cool since Christmas?
Video games. Have I? I've been playing Fallout 76 for the first time ever.
How do you
Nice.
like
I haven't
that?
played that one yet. I haven't gotten around to it.
You know, obviously it was a big flop at launch, but I had heard that it got good over several years of development. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun. Been playing it with my wife. Like we picked it up while it was like $5 during the winter sale, and we've been playing it together. And now that her brother's back into PC, he's playing it with us, and he's more addicted than we are. He's already
currently-
surpassed us in levels.
It's currently 80% off right now because the season finale of the show.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. I gotta watch. I still
need
gotta
to-
watch
need
the
to rewa-
finale.
I need to watch the second season because I don't like waiting, so I don't
Yeah.
watch anything until the full season is out, and I just
You have a
avoid
binge watcher
spoilers.
too.
Yeah. I just
that's
started
reasonable.
watching the second season yesterday, and I'm on episode 4 right now.
Yeah, we've been watching season 2 week by week, and I completely understand. I usually am a binger. I hate week by week waiting, but yeah, we haven't watched the finale yet, so probably do that tomorrow.
I have thoroughly enjoyed the show, though.
Yeah, I have too.
Has the finale
Yeah, I
already
really
happened
liked
at this
season
point?
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the finale of
Okay.
season 2 was this Tuesday.
So we're not getting the surprise Oblivion remaster style Fallout 3 remaster, is what you're saying.
No,
That
there was like this countdown or whatever, and on their website, I think, and it was. I think I saw online that it was just like a 3D environment of like Mr. House's office or whatever, like in the penthouse of Lucky 38 Casino. Like it was kind of lame. So
Yeah.
Oh.
people were expecting Fallout 3 and or New Vegas to get the remaster, and nope,
I
neither.
didn't think we were getting a remaster. I was just a couple rumors I saw going
Yeah.
around. The
Yeah, I
Oblivion
saw the
rumors were going
rumors,
around.
but I didn't get my hopes up.
I'm about to say, no
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
really expected the Oblivion remaster.
True.
I did. I was calling it. I was like, guys, it's happening. It's happening. And then it happened. And I was like, I told y'all.
Yeah, and it was like you're calling it, but like to everyone else, it was a shadow drop. Like I didn't know it was coming out until it drops. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah, they did
What
keep it under
happened?
wraps for sure.
Yeah, I had seen like
There was barely any rumor going around at all.
I had a feeling it was coming out. Like the dates and all were kind of shocking, but I knew something was in the works because there were like job postings and stuff that I'd seen
Mhm.
about a classic Elder Scrolls remaster for modern systems a few years back. I'm like, well, it's got to be Oblivion. They're not remaking Skyrim for the 8th time.
No.
And I don't
I
foresee
would not
them
have
remaking
doubted it to see a Skyrim remaster Ultimate Edition Alpha Pro recollection.
The next one
Version
is going
8.
to be Skyrim with the unofficial Skyrim patch applied.
Yeah.
They're just going to fix all the bugs that the unofficial Skyrim patch mod fixes.
Yeah,
There
I
is
saw
no Elder
recently.
Scrolls 6. It's compiling all of the mods into a single unified Skyrim launcher.
I saw recently where I think it was like lead dev on Morrowind or something was talking about like people saying they want a Morrowind remaster, and he's like, no, you don't. Go back and play that game. I promise you don't. He said your nostalgia is blinding you.
I
I
kind of
think
agree
that
with them there.
does a lot with, nostalgia blinds a lot of people to things.
It does.
Because I've gone back and played games. I'm just like, dude, this game was amazing. And I go back and play, and I'm like, why was I this high? Like, this is not even that good. Like,
Yeah.
Well, like I
Yeah.
remember, things like F-Zero X. To me, like when I was playing it, like it seemed like everything was crisp and cool and 3D model, and it looked great. And go back and play it as an adult, and it's like it's a bunch of triangles. It's a bunch of triangles stuck together.
Yeah. Some games
There are no
age
rounded edges
beautifully.
anywhere.
Some do not.
Well, granted, that was Nintendo 64. They did with what they could. It was still a
Right.
really cool game. I went back
I'm
and
saying
played
and
it.
it's still fun, but the
still very
graphics
fun.
did not age as well.
No, because
that game was
they didn't do any round
pushing
edges.
close to
But
90
that's-
frames a second.
Exactly. Like the graphics didn't age as well, but like it was good for the time.
Yeah, no, like it's still a very fun game, and I still enjoyed like doing the spinning ball of death and just murdering everybody on the track. Like that was I didn't really race. I turned it into death race every single time because
Oh yeah.
you're automatically first if out of 20 spaceships you're the only one left.
Right.
You're first, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, that was my motto whenever I would play like basically any racing game, like specifically NASCAR. Like I didn't care for NASCAR, but like I had a buddy that would always have NASCAR games, and he'd want me to play it, and I'd just drive backwards and wreck everybody else.
Pit maneuver them. Like you're both starting, but when you're doing your pace time, you make sure that you end up in second, not in first, and then you pit them immediately, and then you win.
Immediately.
Yeah, that was my move. Was I would make sure that my pace, that I would let them do their pace lap first, and then I would do mine, and I would make sure I was like a second or two behind them. Just make sure I was gonna be like second or third, and I would just on the first or second curve, they'd be going as hard as they could, and I'd just ram them, pit them, and then I just keep on going. Oh my God, he put him into the wall.
All right, I'm going to rein it in here for a bit before we go too far off the rails. So, with this being our first episode of the year, new games, new goals. Do you guys have any goals you want to accomplish this year, specifically in the realm of gaming or anything gaming related?
To
I'll go
actually be
first.
able to play a good game.
Mike will go first.
Same.
Sorry, caught it on the beat there.
It's all good. All right, Mike wants to play a good game. You've been disappointed with games lately, Mike?
I wouldn't say disappointed. I just can't, like I said, get the time to play a good game. There we go.
Feel that.
Time
Feel
is
that.
the
That's
factor.
relatable. That's relatable.
One of my biggest goals that I wanted to accomplish this year that I've already failed because it's February now is on my YouTube channel. I wanted to drop one video a month minimum. And I had a sick day early January. I sat and I recorded about 9 hours of footage. Titanfall 2. I beat Titanfall 2 and got some footage and some B-roll and stuff for a video I wanted to do on that. And then I just had no time to sit down and edit and write a script and everything. So I've got about, at this point, I've got about 10, 12 hours of footage. I've played a little bit more, done a little bit more, but that's time I didn't have to write. It was just a few minutes at a time I could play. And now it's February and I still have nowhere to go on that.
Yeah.
Anybody
Life
have
be
any better luck
laughing.
with anything?
Well, my goal was to start back streaming and getting back into like some horror games and stuff. So I did start that back up a couple of weeks ago. Now, one of my goals is probably starting in March, I'm going to start playing through the Resident Evil franchise. So I got a bunch of those for Christmas and then bought the rest of them. So I've got the whole franchise from 0 up to 8, and hopefully I can finish it before Requiem comes out.
Dude, I will play 5 and 6 with you.
Is that the ones that you can play multiplayer, I guess?
They are 2-player co-op, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be trying to do this on stream. So potentially either you or my brother-in-law, because he has also offered to play 5 and 6 with me.
Okay, yeah. I'm not going to take that from him.
Yes, well, I mean, he might not be available.
I also don't have those games at the moment.
Rock, paper, scissors for it.
That was what they got me for Christmas. They bought me like a big like pack of them. So I had like all but like 3 of the games. So I spent like $12 and got those other 3 games. But they got me the bulk of the games, like 5 of the games for like $20. So that was my Christmas from my brother-in-law and my mother-in-law. Yeah.
See,
I was very excited for it.
Christmas, I got Metroid Prime 4. And that game did not deserve the hate it got. It had some flaws, I will admit. But overall, knowing what I know of the development of the game, it was good. Retro came in and saved it last minute. It was being made by Bandai Namco, and Nintendo shut that down because they weren't happy with the progress it was made. Retro came in and had 4 years to build it from scratch, and it's about a 20-hour game. No, sorry, about a 15-hour game. There is some padding. There's an open world section that's just kind of awful. But other than that, when you get to the areas, it is good old Metroid Prime, and that's all I wanted. So that was fun.
I'm glad.
And that brings us to the main topic of the episode. 2025 was a stacked year for gaming. We had amazing games like Clair Obscur, Doom Eternal, not Doom Eternal, Doom Dark Ages. I'm
Close
gonna redo
enough.
that. We had amazing games like Donkey Kong Bonanza, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Doom the Dark Ages, and lots more. We even had Silk Song. It finally released. 2026 is shaping up to be a big year. We're going to talk about what we're excited for. Who wants to go first? What games are you excited for this year? Mike, you said it was your goal to play a good game this year. What are you looking forward to? Do you have anything in mind?
Honestly, I'm only looking forward really to one that I want to sit down and play because it's probably going to take up a lot of time if my hopes are, lived up to, and that's the new Fable.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that's a big one.
Boy.
Because
Yep.
that was a big part of, back in the day playing first Xbox, everything. It was just a lot of good memories with Fable, Fable 2, Fable 3. Still love Fable 3. Don't care. I love Fable 3.
I
Only
agree.
one we won't talk about is, the Kinect version.
Gross. Doesn't exist.
Which is funny. If you look up Fable, it shows Fable 1, 2, and 3, and it shows Fable Lost Chapters. It does not show Fable Connect.
That's great.
So-
Outstanding.
I thought that was hilarious. But the way it looks, it's running in Unreal Engine 5, and it looks amazing. And I just believe it's going to be a lot going on in that game.
It does
Dude,
look fantastic.
the amount of systems in that game is insane.
Yeah.
So they've already
yeah.
said that they have over 1,000 handcrafted NPCs.
Mm.
I don't know if
Yeah,
handcrafted means fully voiced by real people or not. I'm guessing not. That's a lot of voice work. But every NPC being designed by a designer is also just insane right there.
Yeah.
But every NPC is going to know your reputation, and the impact that you have on the world in that game looks incredible. In the trailer, you meet a giant in one of the trailers, played by Richard. I'm going to butcher his last name. I've never actually heard it said out loud. Richard Ayoade. What'd you say? Richard Adewade. Okay, I'm trusting you. Richard Adewade.
I can't pronounce things. Yeah, like it's like Ayawade, but
All right.
I may be mispronouncing it. He was in
Good old Ricky
the
from the
IT
IT crowd. The IT crowd. Why? Oh man, that's awful. Why did I call it the IT crowd?
He's Moss. He's Moss from the IT crowd.
I know. Why did I call it the IT crowd? I know better. Anyways, there's a quest line where he's trying to make plants grow or something, and he ends up becoming a giant himself on accident. And you can either try to save him or murder him. And if you kill him, his corpse stays on the land for the remainder of your playthrough.
And lowers.
It lowers the cost of living.
Yeah, it lowers the property value, and
That
his
was my
sister will
favorite
hate
thing.
you.
It lowers the property value so you can buy everything for a mint.
You
They
can
said
become
that
a
he has a sister
landlord.
who will just absolutely hate your guts.
You can become a landlord, and the people you evict will be beggars later on in future cities that you go to, and be like, "Oh, it's you," and they'll spit at you and stuff.
Yeah, and then other rich assholes will just be like, yes, wealth. I like you.
So if this can live up to the hype and everything that they promised, and I've got no reason to say that it won't, because that was a top tier showcase.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It may be the game to fill that Skyrim placed hole in your life, because I hate to say it, Skyrim and Witcher 3 are like the biggest open world fantasy RPGs to come out in the past 2 decades, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And Fable used to be such a heavy hitter. And
Yeah.
we haven't had one in so long. And I know there's a lot of debate about people saying, "Oh, it's not Lionhead. They're rebooting it and they're changing stuff. It's not a real Fable game." And I don't care, dude. I just want Fable back, and I trust that it will be good. The showcase looked really promising, and I know Playground Games is developing it, and they've never really done this kind of game before. But dude, they've been doing Forza Horizon for years, and I know that's vastly different, but it's huge open world, and they've got plenty of resources to pull from. I trust them. It's a top tier studio. This is their first time tackling an RPG, really, but it looks like they know what they're doing. And I
Oh,
know
heck yeah.
as far as like the debate about, oh, it's not Lionhead, there's a lot of debate about the morality system. Like people are upset that you don't have like the physical morphing based on the good versus
Yeah.
evil. And I just don't understand why people are so upset about that personally. Like I know it was cool back then. I think that they're more, more social, more dynamic system seems more intriguing to me personally.
Yeah, and honestly, I think I kinda understand people being a little upset about the morality and the physical appearance because when Fable came out, it was pretty much one of the only games that did that.
Right. Like the
They
morality
kind
was,
of Yeah, it was the
they
big
kind of
thing,
made that.
and that's why
Yeah.
people are kinda upset about it, and I can kinda see that because it feels like that's taking away, like, a big thing about Fable.
Yeah. I mean, I do kind of see that. Like, I see the argument, but from my opinion, the way I look at it is they're not taking away the morality. The morality system is still there.
Yeah.
It's a more modern, much more dynamic version of it. And yeah, the physical morphing was cool at the time, but as we already talked about a little bit with like nostalgia glasses and stuff, like, yeah,
Exactly.
I get that it was incredible at the time. It was kind of nobody else was doing this, but I think for this day and age, I think this bigger, more dynamic system is going to be a bigger hit than if they just stuck with the classic Fable formula.
I mean, it's like this. I see it as an argument to have, but
Right.
this is by no means a hill to die on.
Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
as We Came as Romans once famously titled a song, "To move on is to grow."
Right.
And moving on, segue. All right, JB, what are you excited for this year?
Other than Fable, primarily, I'm looking forward to Pokemon's 30th anniversary, which will be
Nice.
later this month. February 27th is the 30th anniversary, and I'm hoping that we'll finally get an official look at Generation 10. There was the big Terra leaks in the past few months, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that came out of that. Of course, I mean, it seems like basically everything that came out of those leaks was legitimate, but of course, most of it is like developmental things, and those things can change. Anybody who has kept up with the leaks or whatever, like, don't get your hopes up too much, I would say. Just because just because it was something they were talking about putting in the game or whatever doesn't mean that it will be that way. But from what I read about the Terra leaks, I think the overall premise and direction that they're going with Generation 10 seems a lot more promising. I think it seems that they're building a new engine, which they vastly need. Pokemon has been suffering for years, and there's a whole argument to be had about that with, why their quality isn't up to snuff when they're literally the highest grossing media franchise in the world. Personally, I think that it makes sense with the whole, like, why they can't take more time because everything ties in with the anime and the trading cards and everything. They kind of have to stick to timetables, but
Yeah, yeah.
they got a lot of resources and they could better utilize them. I will definitely be the first to admit that. So to hear that they're supposedly building a new engine, I'm hoping that that will be a big improvement. And the games are unofficially, but pretty much confirmed to be called Wind and Wave. There's like a big focus on exploration, like seafaring exploration. It's supposed to be like Southeast Asia and Indonesia inspired region with lots of island hopping, and apparently there's even like some procedural islands potentially. There's a lot of interesting stuff if you haven't looked into the Terra leaks. I, again, take everything with a grain of salt. If it was early development, it very much may not even be in the game. Even later development could change. So, but if you haven't looked into it, I would recommend checking it out because there's a lot of interesting stuff in there.
I'm curious to see where the Pokemon
And
franchise goes in the near
yeah,
future because I'm looking at Game Freak's game lineup, and other than a small indie cozy game that they released in 2019, they haven't made a game other than Pokemon since 1991's Yoshi on the Game Boy. But this year, they have a new game coming out called Beast of
Yep.
Reincarnation. And after seeing nothing but Pokemon from them for nearly 3 decades, this looks amazing.
Right? It does.
If you're into Souls games, I know over the past 6 years or so, we've been inundated with that Eastern style Souls game. So it is starting to look samey, but it looks so vastly different from Pokemon that I was like, oh, they can do other things. That's cool.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah, I
elected
think-
not to for 30 years.
Right? Yeah. I mean, hey, when you got the biggest cash cow on the planet, I guess you milk it.
True.
But yeah,
True.
I've always been a lifelong Pokemon fan, but I'm not blind to the issues with Pokemon, but I still enjoy it despite whatever issues,
Oh,
So,
yeah. I'm not hating on the series
I'm
or
hopeful.
anything.
Yeah, I'm not a Pokemon hater, but I'm also not going to defend them to the death. I will not die on that hill. There's definitely a lot they could do better. Lots of complaints that I have personally had, but I'm intrigued to see what else Game Freak is capable of, and I'm intrigued to see if they're capable of that. What else can they potentially do with Pokemon? And that's something else that was not much information on, but there was some information on another game in the Terra Leagues that is planned for like in the next 5 years, I think. That's supposedly, again, this could be hearsay, but this game is supposedly like a big MMO style game where you'll be able to go to all of the Japanese inspired regions, essentially generations 1 through 4. They say you'll be able to walk all the way from Hoenn to Sinnoh, Johto, Kanto, all 4 of those regions.
I could see, and this is just me spitballing here, I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, a live service Pokemon MMO that just seems like a no-brainer. I mean, you could still
Yeah.
have your super high-quality mainline games, and the
Right.
MMO just has to be serviceable. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular, because
Right.
if it's constantly adding new Pokemon to it every generation, new areas, why doesn't that exist?
Yeah, that's a question that I think a lot of people have been asking for a very long time. It should be a no-brainer. I think that, I don't know, Game Freak and Pokemon Company are just too comfortable. If you don't have to take risks, why should you? So I don't know. But if this does come to fruition, hopefully it'll be actually good and show them that they can afford to do other things. And of course, Pokemon Champions is supposed to come out this year, and that looks pretty exciting. So hopefully Pokemon is starting to get out of their shell a little bit and listen to some of these complaints that people have been complaining about basically for 30 years now. Because, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but there's a lot to complain about, and they haven't listened to complaints for the majority of their lifetime. I think games like Power World coming out and doing so well is probably a big part of that, like why they're trying to do different things and actually improve.
Yeah, competition in the market definitely adds a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. And I mean, Power World's done really well.
Yeah, and then losing the lawsuit that says, hey, we're...
Yeah, exactly. Saying you can't monopolize monster taming.
Yeah. Now, granted, they may still win another IP battle at some other point, but the one that they started a couple years ago or a year ago, it got thrown out. So I assume they'll just start another one. They'll redefine their IP.
Yeah.
Well, Power World,
Yeah, and
they're not worried. They as soon as Pokemon announced that Ditto cozy farming game, Power World announced a cozy farming game, and just 2-3 weeks ago, Power World announced their trading card game.
Dude, that honestly, it's so funny. Like you mentioned the cozy farming thing, like that was just coincidence, most likely, because
Most likely, yeah.
you don't have something like that just out of nowhere. 2 weeks after Pokopia was announced, there's no way Power World was just like, hey, we're gonna copy that. Like, nah, they already had that in the works. They probably did choose to talk about it soon after that, though, because they probably were like, ooh, this will be fun.
And Power World 2 is about to release their big update that's bringing them out of early access. And
the 1.0 release.
From what we're looking at right now with Power World is you'll be able to go to the big tree, and pretty much the big tree is technically the center of the actual map. So we're only in the bottom right corner of the entirety of the map.
I've got to play more Power World. My
It's
PC didn't
really
like it
good.
too much, but I can play it on my Xbox. I don't know why I don't. But
I've been
they
into
did
Power World a
crossovers with
lot lately.
Terraria and one of my favorite indie shooters of all time, Turbo Overkill. I mean, sorry, was it no Ultra Kill? Ultra Kill.
Yeah.
I want the Ultra Kill stuff.
Yeah, the Power World 1.0 update has me excited. I'm very much looking forward to that. Me and my wife played a lot of Power World. My daughter played it a good bit with us too. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. And like I said, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but I like healthy competition and calling people on their BS. I'm glad that Power World has done so well in the lawsuit against Pokemon and everything. Like, it's good to see somebody put Pokemon in check a little bit. Like, I'm a fan of the games, but I'm not a fan of monopolizing anything. It's a genre, bro. Just because you invented the genre doesn't mean that you have a monopoly on it.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, if
Competition
right,
is great. Just these past few months, we've seen Arc Raiders come out. I'm putting pressure on Bungie to make sure that Marathon comes out the highest quality it can.
hmm
And just yesterday, Blizzard announced their big Overwatch revamp. And as an
yeah.
Overwatch hater, I'm kind of excited, not gonna lie.
See, I was an Overwatch lover, and then I turned into an Overwatch hater whenever 2 came out because I really liked Overwatch 1. I did. I liked the original Overwatch. And then I didn't play for a little while, and then Overwatch 2 came out. And I started playing, and it's like, this is not the game that I enjoyed. It's not what I enjoyed playing. It's not the style I enjoyed playing. So I stopped playing.
But Zach, what game do you want to be playing this year?
I've got a lot, but we'll cut it down. So
Give us a couple.
So in the big name titles, Resident Evil Requiem, that's one of the big ones I want to play. I really like I've honestly never played the Resident Evil series. I think I've played like one for like 20 minutes. I've never like as a demo. I've never actually played the series, so that's part of what I'm doing this year. But Divinity is on my playlist for the year. Like that is one of the games that I'm going to buy at $60 and play the crap out of it.
I kind of forgot about that. Yeah,
Oh, buddy,
I
I
kind of
haven't.
forgot because that trailer, I was like, I don't want to remember this.
Like
Oh, frick,
I have
Resident Evil
been
comes out this
dreaming.
month.
Oh,
I
dang.
didn't realize it was so
Oh,
soon.
then I didn't either. I have not been paying attention to the release date because I thought that
Requiem,
it was going to
February
be like.
27th.
See, I thought it was going to be Q2.
Oh, on Pokemon Day.
Well, damn. All right, so now I got to.
Right now, you
All
got to
right,
prepare for
boys,
that.
you're going to see me streaming a lot over the next couple of weeks.
Let's go.
I may be wrong in
Let's
this, but from
go.
what I understand, you really only need to play the games with Leon in it to understand most of the story. So that's Resident Evil 2 and 4. I don't think there's going to be a lot of tie over from 7 and 8, but I don't know.
Doesn't matter. I'm playing the whole franchise.
Doesn't matter. Whole franchise.
Doesn't
Speed
matter.
run it.
Speed running, and it's going to be the slowest speed run ever because it's going to be my first time ever playing them. Like the worst speed run you've ever seen.
I have found that
Amateur
trying to get
speedrun
through
hour.
games quickly just makes me more frustrated with the game because I'm not playing it the way I want to play it. And it usually ends
Yeah.
up taking longer because it makes me play worse because I'm overthinking it.
I've got a bunch of like indie games that I'm looking forward to as well, but really those are the two. That and the Fable reboot are all like the big titles this year that I've seen that I really want to.
What are some of those indies?
So there's Blight Survival, which I actually don't know if that was an indie or not. It's definitely not a big name studio, but Blight Survival. So basically it's like medieval horror. So like you're out in the middle of a battlefield fighting, for king and country, as one does, and you start having people that are attacking you that aren't human. They are like raised like zombie people, and so you and your warrior friends are trying to kill it, and you can play it as solo or as a co-op for up to 3 people.
Yo, this game looks sick.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm interested. Why haven't I heard about this?
So I had not heard about it either. So in preparation for this, I started like looking through a bunch of different like substacks of things that like have like lists, and I was like, Blight Survival, that sounds interesting. And then when I saw it, I was like, that's not what I thought that was going to be at all based on the name. Like Blight Survival, like I was expecting like like the Flood from Halo. Like I wasn't expecting like medieval, like you come out and you're smashing stuff with a mace. Like
I do like to smash things with
Dude, this
mace.
says it's got
I do.
directional melee combat, so that's going to be a lot like For Honor stuff. That's going to get tough
Hey.
and brutal.
Like I just thought it looked really cool. It looked like it'd be really.
I love that like directional combat stuff. Like if Chivalry wasn't such a sweaty game, I'd play the heck out of it. That game is so
Okay.
fun, but my gosh, sweats.
Roguelite, action horror, extraction. That is a mishmash of genres that I feel works very well.
Yeah,
Okay,
I could
Zach,
see
you actually
that.
put a game on my radar. I thought I was pretty
Right.
keen on everything. This is awesome. I'm adding it to my wish list right now.
Same.
Blight
Yeah.
Survival.
Anything else I need to know about, Zach?
So there's one it's Shift at Midnight. So it's not to be confused with Midnight Shift, which is a similar game. That one's on my radar for it's coming out this year. But the Gold River Project is actually the one that's I've got listed. And so think similar to the original, like the Forest game, but
Okay.
it's not. So it has a lot of the same survival aspects, but it's not a plane crash. Like you and your friends are going to camp and then you realize that like some stuff's not right. So you make your camp, you hunt, you fish, you gather supplies, and then you explore and then you figure out what's going on in the area. And so it's like there's a lot of stuff that's been kind of like leaked about what the story is going to end up being. And so it's almost like missile silos and stuff. Like there's a bunch of like cool stuff to it. But this is like
What did you say it was
very
called?
early access. The Gold River Project.
The Gold River Project. Okay.
Yeah, and
I
so
thought you
it's
said
like
Shift at
very
Midnight.
early. No, I did. That was one that I'm watching. But
Okay, my bad.
like, yeah, the one that I said two. Like I was thinking of Gold River Project, reading Gold River Project, and read Shift at Midnight, which is right above it in my list.
My bad.
But
I
the
was
Gold
watching
River
the
Project,
trailer for
like,
Shift at Midnight. I'm like, this sounds nothing like what you're describing.
yeah, sorry, the Gold River Project, and sorry, I got distracted. I was reading a line off of that line I didn't want to read, and so this is like in very early access. But I've watched some of the streams where the developers are actively like trying out the new features they put in, and so it's really cool to watch like them adding things to it. Like you can pick this stuff up now in the game. You couldn't pick it up yesterday, but now you can with the update that we put. Like now you can pick up this map. You can pick up this brochure about what there is to do in the park. And yeah, but that was honestly like that one's still very early access, so it might not end up like coming out very well. But Blight Survival was the one that like really had me intrigued. And now I'm glad I put it onto your radars.
Well, I've only got a couple games that I'm super looking forward to. While I would love to sit and be able to play Fable and things like that, I don't have time to get into a super massive RPG like I want to. My daughter's 3, so I can't just be playing anything too violent in the living room TV. But
For shame.
the game I'm most excited for, I'm not even sure is coming out this year. It's an indie title called Deep Dish Dungeon. This is a first-person co-op dungeon crawler that the premise reminds me, I don't know if you've watched the anime Delicious in Dungeon,
I've heard of it, yeah.
where you
Yep, it's
basically
awesome.
cook the monsters you kill and survive off of them as you delve deeper into the dungeon. But this one, it looks like it's going to have lots of dungeon puzzles, heavy emphasis on co-op, high fantasy. It does have like that PlayStation 1 aesthetic, so the graphics are bad on purpose. And I love that in modern games. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was not a PlayStation kid, but I love that style of graphic. But your stats and all look to be controlled by the food that you're able to cook and consume, and you just have to keep going deeper and deeper. And I think that with some bros would just be a good time.
I'm watching this, and it does look.
Yeah, I
It
was about
does.
to say I'm sitting here on the Steam page watching. It looks pretty dope. I dig that.
The main thing I like is that it calls it puzzly, a puzzly handcrafted
Yeah,
dungeon.
yeah. There's
I love
there's
games.
lots
I
of
love games
puzzles.
with puzzles. I love games with puzzles. Like that's
We don't
like,
get that
I'm-
like we used to.
no, like that was one of my favorite things about Skyrim was like where you got the like 3 types of puzzles that they had. What the first time you saw a puzzle in the game, you're like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And the 17th time you saw it, it's like, this is the same puzzle I've been solving in these cairns over and over again.
Yeah. Like, give me like the golden era of like Prince of Persia, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm hoping this game comes out this year. But if it doesn't, the other game that I'm really excited for, the AAA, I guess, one indie, one AAA for me. I'm really excited for the next 007 game. I haven't played a game like 007 in a long time. I know the Hitman games are similar, which is why I'm excited that who is it? It is IO Interactive. IO Interactive is making this one And this is the first 007 game where your James Bond is not based off of a movie Bond. You don't have that actor portraying him, and it seems to be an original story. It's not an adaptation from any of the movies, to my knowledge. And I just want some high stakes spy action that only James Bond can do in games. I'm excited for that. I think that drops in May. Yeah, May 27th this year.
Sick.
Yeah. That's all I had for the two I'm really excited for. I do want to play Forza. I want to play Fable and all that stuff. Don't know if I'll be able to sink myself into them. I know 007 is probably going to be like a 20-hour game at the most. And Delicious in Dungeon probably be fun for like, an hour dive here and there. I can't play games the way I used to.
Yeah, I'll definitely be playing some Forza. My brother-in-law is huge Forza Horizon fan, and me and him both are big, anime gaming weebs, I guess you could say. So the fact that Forza Horizon 6 is in Japan is got him all excited, and he's like, "You got to play it with me." I was like, "Okay, you're just gonna make me mad that I don't have a racing wheel anymore, though." But sure, I'll play it.
Well, you need the racing wheel and you need the racing gloves. Like, you need the driving gloves.
Yes.
Like, you have to have the full setup.
Right.
The racing, you have to have the little gear shift next, and you have to have the leather fingerless racing gloves. Like,
yes.
you got to have it.
Yes, and you got to have like the Tokyo Drift soundtrack because I mean
just specifically that one song.
Yes, the one.
The
song
internet has ruined me
yes.
because I can't hear that song without seeing that scene from Polar Express, the dude drifting the train on the frozen lake.
No.
The internet has ruined me.
I mean, but for real, like that mountain drive, like race that they did in Tokyo Drift. If I can't do that in Forza Horizon 6, I don't want it. I just want to race down the mountain. I want to drift a 350Z down the mountain. Oh yeah, I'm excited for that one. I'm surprised that none of us brought up GTA 6 for our big excitement, though.
I've never been. I enjoy playing online, but I've never been a big GTA guy. But I was a Nintendo guy growing up. I wasn't until I was an adult that I got an Xbox and was able to get to those games. And by the time I wanted to play other games. I missed out on like all the Halos and Destiny and The Witcher.
I enjoyed GTA just for the sandbox of it mostly, but I did eventually beat San Andreas and GTA 5, but I didn't really care for the story in any of the others. Not that they were bad or anything. I just never got into them. But I did beat San Andreas and I did beat GTA 5 and played a good bit of GTA Online. But GTA 6, I'm interested, but I don't know. I just feel like the hype has kind of ruined it for me a little bit. Like, it's been hyped up for so long and everybody's acting like it's going to be, the biggest thing to ever happen to gaming. So I'm interested to see what happens with it, and I'll probably play it at some point, but I'm not buying into the hype as much as everyone else seems to be.
Yeah, I honestly, I played Vice City, and then I played San Andreas, and then I did play GTA 5 back when I had an Xbox One, not 360. Jesus, Xbox One. And I was like, yeah, I played it. It really I just never had a lot of fun with it.
Right.
I played it, and I played probably 20, 25 hours of it, and then didn't play anymore. And that it just wasn't my game. So I'm not super excited for it. Now, granted, it's been trying to come out for 25 years now. So who knows? Maybe I'm in the stage of my life where I'll enjoy a Grand Theft Auto game again.
Probably not. We're all too old for that. I think the stage of your life where you're most likely to enjoy a Grand Theft Auto is when you're a delinquent, when you're like an adolescent.
Oh, no,
I'm still a delinquent.
I was about to say, let me specify a young delinquent. An adolescent,
where's
like
the button
early
to turn myself
teenagers. Yeah, right. Like, gosh,
I'm
the police are
tired.
after me. I better pull over. I can't afford no ticket now.
What's the speed limit
Excuse
through
me.
here again?
Right.
Excuse me, officer. I'm just lost, and I'm trying to get back to the rest stop where I left my wife before she realizes that I left her there, because she's gonna really hurt me.
Ma'am, you seem like a nice lady, but I do not think I will need your services tonight.
No, thank you, ma'am. No, I'm not interested. Yeah, it's funny though. You joke about like doing the speed limit and stuff. Back when I did actually have a racing wheel and played Forza Horizon 2 all the time, I used to would just put I'd set my settings to manual without clutch because I wasn't bougie enough to have like the full setup. I just had a cheap wheel with paddle shifters, but I would put it on manual without clutch and just cruise around doing the speed limit, just relaxing, like
I
not
think
actually racing, just chilling.
think almost every gamer who's ever just sat at a racing game for long enough has decided to try to see what it was like to follow all the rules of the road.
Yeah. Yep.
Need for Speed Underground 2. Like,
Yes. I did it in
that
that
was
one too.
that was because I didn't have a steering wheel for that one, so that one was really tough. But like obeying, I didn't have a blinker, so I couldn't put on a blinker. But passing properly,
Yep.
waiting until it was safe to pass and stuff like that, and doing that, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is interesting.
Right.
Mike, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
We
You
just
got
started
anything you
boring
want to add before we bring it to a close?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Fable.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I'm
Fable.
just on the Fable hype train right now.
Fable.
All
I'm
right.
telling you, I could talk about Fable all night. I won't, but I could.
I could talk about it for at least another like 5 or 10 seconds.
I worry that if you do, I won't be able to stop. Don't do that to me, Zach. Don't do that to me.
Well, all right, guys. It's been fun catching up, and hopefully it won't take us another month to do this again. But a lot of that's on me. Thank you all for listening this far, if you've made it this far. And if not, you're not hearing this. But we are Southern Fried Gaming. I have no closer for this.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's been too long, guys. We're working through it. We'll see you later. See you in the next episode. We're keeping this. The end.
A Mississippi Gamer Society Board Time Things production.